Maybe.
Looks like it's happening. Yay!
Hey, now
Welcome
we're
to Green
live.
Cow. Yeah, there was a little delay in connecting this morning, but we're here, and hopefully you're here.
And we're connected.
If you're watching the replay, put in the hashtag replay.
And if you're here live, say hi. And do remember that it takes us a little bit of time to get people on. So we tend to just kind of talk about random stuff for the first few minutes. And if you're watching on the replay, you can feel free to fast forward until about 2 minutes in, unless you really want to hear us talk about random stuff. So we're okay with either way.
So what kind of coffee or tea are you having this morning?
So Mark and Matt are going to be super proud of me right now. But I have Panera yet again, because I got that free coffee subscription. Well, okay, so it's not free. It's $8 a month, but I got mine free for 3 months. And then somehow I stopped the subscription and I got it free again for another 3 months. So that's 6 months of coffee, guys. You can get a new one every hour. Do you appreciate that? That I can get more coffee every hour?
Yeah. Good morning, Mark. That's great.
So anybody who already thinks I'm too hyper, sorry. Hi, Mark. I don't know if you caught that or not, but I've had 6 months of free Panera coffee. But sometimes I still go to Starbucks because I like Starbucks. So if you're sending complaints, you can still send them to me on the back of a Starbucks gift card. But here's the thing about how Panera gets you, right? There is zero to eat there that is not $7 or more, right? Except for the bagels, which are really good, but they're super carby, which is what I had this morning. And I was like, oh, I don't want to have a super carby thing, but I don't want to pay $7 for breakfast. But I don't want to go somewhere else because I'm getting free coffee at Panera. And that, folks, is how they get you.
There you have it.
The great plan is revealed. Though if I just ate breakfast at home beforehand, then I would probably be feeling fine. And actually, I'm not even hungry after I have coffee, but before I have coffee, I'm hungry, so I feel like I need breakfast, even though I don't want it. See? It's all master plan.
Whose master plan is it?
Panera's.
Okay.
But they do let you sit in their restaurant, even during the pandemic. They do let you have their Wi-Fi for hours at a time, so I'm okay with Panera.
Okay. Well, I've never had a bad experience at Panera. I don't go often, but I think the food is pretty good, and
it's pretty
healthy. I don't drink coffee usually.
Yes, you do.
I do drink coffee here. I don't drink coffee when I go to Panera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I don't make it, I don't usually have it. Now, at places like Panera, I'll have unsweetened iced tea.
Well, there you go. That's good too. They have a bunch of cool drinks too. They have like juice kind of stuff that's
sugars.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool. But they do have fairly healthy food. And there was a booth that my friend and I used to sit in all the time in Portage, and we just called it our office. So we'd be like, come meet me at my office. And no one else knew what we were talking about, but it was always one particular booth at Panera. But the one in Portage is nice. Matt, if you come on, I know that we've talked about this before. Mark, maybe you've come to the one in Portage. I don't know. But they have a nice little fireplace, and it's pretty nice in there. Whereas some of them are just Grand Central Station. There's 4 billion people in there any time of the day. But the one in Portage usually isn't that packed, but they still have good food, nice place to sit. So yeah. So I see we have 4 people watching with us this morning. Please say good morning. Let us know how you are. Let us know what's going on with you. We are currently streaming in our group, as well as in several other places on Facebook and YouTube. So leave a comment and we should see it. And just say hi and let us know what's going on. Of course, we're always looking for good news. So if you have some good news to share, I put a post on my personal page the other day asking people to share good news, and I got a lot of good news. And some people said, one person said that the good news was that I was going to be their girlfriend. I deleted that person.
Okay.
But some other people posted legitimately good news. So So share good news with us if you haven't today. People were posting a lot of like spring related things because it was recently the first day of spring. So now we're on like what, day 3?
Something like
I don't
that.
know what day it is. So they were posting things that they were doing outside and like looking forward to vacations and fun stuff like that.
Today is the 3rd day of spring.
Today is the 3rd day of spring. So if you've got something good news, leave a comment. We would love to know what is new and good and fun with you. Or if you got something going on this week you want to share, we would love to know what that is.
Right.
So say hi. There's 6 of you here, and only one of you has said hi, and that was Mark.
Well,
say
people
hi.
are on different platforms too.
Well, most people are in our group, so say hi. You can tell that now, by the way, by doing the hover thing. You can tell where they're watching.
Huh.
Pretty soon we'll be able
Yeah.
to see into your homes.
It'd be nice if we could get my.
Yeah, it would
stuff.
not be nice if we could see into their homes. Hi, Phyllis. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Phyllis.
Let us know what you're doing and what's going on with you. So we have a Mindset Monday topic for you guys today. We're talking about what you can do when you are feeling kind of low. And we have another good morning from Facebook user, but I don't know who you are, Facebook user, because, it's Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Good morning. I'm so glad that you're here. And Dawn is here this morning too. Thanks, Dawn. You know what Phyllis said, just so you can't see what they're wearing. And I saw a funny thing on Facebook this morning that said, remember every morning when you get dressed, if you die today, that's your ghost outfit forever. So if that's not motivation to use a little bit of your fashion sense, I don't know what is.
Does it? Okay.
I don't think your ghost would care. My ghost would care. Like, man, that color never looked good on me. Oh, goodness. All right. So we have a topic that we want to share a little bit with you guys today, where you're going to be talking about what you can do when you're feeling low. So if that is something that you have some thoughts about, and Stacy enjoyed that. Good, glad somebody gets my humor. Sometimes he just looks at me like, why? I thought it was funny. No. Okay.
Hilarious. No, I do appreciate your humor. You brighten up the day. You laugh a lot, and that's a good thing. It's healthy. That's a good thing to do, and people appreciate that.
And actually, that's one of the things I think you can do if you're feeling low. In fact, yesterday I had an experience. And by the way, if you guys have suggestions about this, I know we've got a lot of people on who probably have some really good suggestions about what you can do when you're not in the best mindset, and you realize that. So when you're not happy, you know it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's natural. I can't stop.
When you're unhappy and you know it, what do we do?
You tell us, Facebook land. Stacy said her ghost is comfy and scary.
Okay.
I was actually having another ghost conversation with a friend the other day, and I said, from what I know about you, I don't think that you would actually scare people, but I think you would do minor things to inconvenience them, like hide their car keys or move their underwear drawer or their socks drawer, stuff like that. And I actually think that might be kind of fun, and I might also do that. I'm sorry, I'm a horrible person and will also be a horrible ghost.
So how many coffees did you have today?
Just the one.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's pretty bad, actually. You don't want to see me after 2. All right.
So most people go through this natural rhythm of ups and downs. They're in a really good vibration some day or sometime during the day, and somewhat lower on different times of the day. And if you know your cycle, it's a kind of a natural cycle. You can prepare a little bit for it, and hopefully maintain at least during the low times, and be really creative and just do fantastic stuff when you're on a high cycle.
Yeah.
But it helps to be aware of where you are at the moment, so that you can take advantage of it.
And we would really like to hear from you guys about what you do. I know that some of our sponsors are on this morning. Stacy, I know that you probably have some good ideas of things that you can do when you're feeling low. She's a therapist and again has a lot of great ideas. And Dawn, I know that you do some things with oils, certain oils, and help and aromatherapy and things like that. So we'd love to hear your thoughts, and of course anybody else that's watching. Oh no, we always start talking about the Beach Boys on the show for some reason. Phyllis just said good vibrations. But Phyllis and Mark and anybody else that's watching, if you have some things that you do when you're feeling low, share with us. But I would say that I honestly think the laughing thing is valuable. I was having a conversation yesterday and someone asked me to share thoughts about kind of a deep topic. And I was like, well, I'm not actually all that happy right now because I had just had another conversation that was kind of iffy. And I was like, I don't really want to jump into what I think about some kind of philosophical, I said that word, topic right now because I'm not feeling happy. And I know that the answers that I'm going to find right now are probably not really how I feel. So I said, I'm going to go look at some things that make me laugh a little bit and then see where I'm at. And then I went on one of my favorite Facebook groups, which is called Unpopular, Unsuccessful, and Useless, Unpopular, Unsuccessful, and Useless Signage. Where people take pictures of signs that make zero sense. And I had some fun laughs. And I found one in Japanese that said, please present your octopus. I think they meant something else. It was supposed to be like ID, but they said octopus. So that's what I do.
I don't think I've ever seen that. But okay.
I'll post it if anybody wants to see it. So Mark's doing some movie quotes again for us down here. Matt said post I will post a picture of the sign to the group when we are done here. I absolutely will. Yeah. So that
but don't do it until after we're done.
I will not do it until after we're done. I promise. Some of those things can have me laughing for days. So
it's okay. Laughing is good.
But I do think that is really true, that sometimes just finding something that's funny or fun or, that might be all it takes. Sometimes it's not always the case. And I was just saying, to you before we started this, that I don't know that I think you're right about the natural rhythms. I don't think, maybe just because so much in my life is not on a routine, because I have 3 kids and a business and a lot of stuff. So while I do really try to create routines, it doesn't always happen for me as much as I'd like it to be. So maybe for me, I think it's more trying to figure out what is causing the low moment. A lot of times it is physical, which is why I say a lot of times if I'm feeling sad, I just go to sleep if I can, because that's probably what it is. Matt says the sign is way more important than what we should be talking about. Absolutely. I will share some of my top signs for you guys later. And I shared a sign in that group once and got 600 likes. So just so you know.
I'm guessing this is coming from Stacy.
I think that is coming from Stacy. But I did want to say, I sometimes if I'm feeling low, I do check first to see if it's a physical thing. If I'm not feeling well for a certain reason, is there something that I can do to feel better about that? Do I need to take a nap? Do I need to take some sort of medicine? Do I need to eat something? Do I need to go outside for a little bit? And sometimes it's that. And then sometimes I'm pretty good at realizing where the feeling's coming from.
Good.
So I had a kind of weird experience last week where I was a little out of it because some stuff started going really right in my life. Like, I had found a school for my son, and we had a new nanny start, and she's doing really awesome. And just kind of some other things that were going really right. And I felt like it was sort of creating space for me to worry about things. So I was like, oh, this isn't good. Like, I should just be happy about these things that are going well, and, sink my time into doing something productive. Another thing that helps me, and then I'll shut up, is that sometimes doing a task that isn't super brain creative involved, like it's just something that I know how to do, and I can do it, and I can do it well, and I feel good about doing it, that'll really help. So sometimes you can't just take a nap when you're feeling low. You can't be just like, I'm out, guys.
And sometimes you can.
Sometimes you can, but like if you're driving or if you have young children who you would prefer not to destroy the house, or you have an important meeting or something, it's going to look a little weird if you're constantly just like, see ya, I don't feel good, I'm going to take a nap. And in that, sometimes if you do have to be productive in some way, I try to focus on those tasks that are more routine, I suppose. And then sometimes that gives you a good feeling of getting something done and helps snap you out of it. So there were some comments coming in from Stacy.
Yes, Stacy, what happens if I hit this?
It shows it on the screen, I think. Hey, this is Stacy. By the way, real quick, Stacy, if you don't want it to say Facebook user, go into StreamYard. There's a link at the very bottom of all of our posts.
It's StreamYard/Facebook?
StreamYard.
Facebook /StreamYard, and there's a slash in there.
I'm not sure, but the link is there in the description. Okay. Click that and give it permission. But now we can't see our faces.
Okay.
Hi.
So
Michelle.
Here's a good comment about the butterfly.
Sorry.
Never mind.
That was kind of fun. All right, can you read the comment for us?
Sure, I can. So Stacy says, honor the feeling and butterfly hug. Helps regulate your nervous system. So you look at your palms, cross your wrists, lock your thumbs. This makes a butterfly.
Puppet show.
Puppet show. Place your hands on your heart, right under your collarbone. There's a small divot under your collar. Oh, yeah. Press there with your finger and alternate wings. This does two things. Taps your vagus nerve and lets it know it's okay to move from the fight or flight reaction to a rest and digest. And bilateral stimulation. Number 2, bilateral stimulation activates both sides of your brain. And there's apparently more, but I don't know how to see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's more there, but we can't see it. Oh, I can see it on my phone. So she says that last part is just couple that with deep breathing. That's the last.
Deep breathing, yeah. It's good to breathe several times a day. Keep that in mind.
Sometimes I don't do that. So my son actually uses the butterfly, and Stacy taught the butterfly thing to me, and I taught it to my 4-year-old, and nobody can see your butterfly. You gotta raise up your hands there a little bit.
It's a shy butterfly.
But yeah, my son actually uses it, and it's really been helpful for him. We're kind of working on just transitions and things like that, which are a little harder. And the butterfly thing, he does it before bed, which is a particularly challenging time for him, but it's getting a lot better. So I've actually used some of the oils that Dawn uses for him, and the butterfly and a few other things. So we're doing a little bit better with bedtime. but it's really helpful, and he does it on his own now. He knows
Cool.
like before he goes to bed, he's like, I want to make my butterfly. So it's
Thank you
really-
for that, Stacy.
Yeah,
So
it's really sweet.
Stacy left another great comment. I think it's Stacy, right?
Mhm.
So she's trying to remove the word should from her vocabulary because it's filled with shame and judgment. So when I hear myself say, the word should, I remind myself that I won't should on myself anymore.
That's funny.
And coincidentally, I just went through a program. I'm going through the Virtues Project Facilitator program, and that same topic just came up yesterday. You don't tell people that they should do this or should do that. That's not a nice thing to do.
Mhm.
And you shouldn't tell yourself that.
Yeah, I like what you say there about it being full of judgment. And I've also kind of tried to, I try to work on that as well. It is one of those words that I try to catch myself saying. So Matt's comment is great here too. Sometimes you have to check out to really check in. I love getting away for the weekend to reset. It's usually what I need if I'm consistently feeling off. That's really true too. That's something that I have a little bit of a hard time with, is like letting go of work when you want to get work done. And that's actually one of the reasons that I find myself getting low sometimes, is setting unrealistic expectations, and then I don't meet them. Surprise, surprise, because they were unrealistic.
Yeah.
And
Didn't we have a conversation about that this morning?
yes, we did. And that's one of the reasons that I find it happening. You know, for me, it's not so much a natural rhythm; it's more of situational, right? I mean, I'm certain that I have those things, natural rhythms, but I think for
we
me,
all do.
we think we probably all do. But it's, for me, it's just the way my life is right now. It's so much just situational,
Mhm.
and so I found myself doing that. You know, I'm gonna feel really good when I'm done with all this work. But what happens is, like, the work doesn't ever get done because there's always more. And so I have found, by saying, you know what, I'm not going to try to like ultra multitask. I'm going to focus on this one thing. I'm going to get this done, and then I'm taking a break and doing something like Matt suggests. I don't really get a whole lot of opportunity to go away for an entire weekend, but because of kiddo stuff. But for me, maybe just like taking a day and to do something, or part of a day, or just, you know, allowing myself to be fully focused on that thing that I'm doing that's not work related, helps me. And when we were able to, it was really going to Six Flags was my thing. I really love going to Six Flags and riding roller coasters and doing all that fun stuff. But fortunately, they're opening again at the end of April, so got to get my season passes. And
So are they going to be partially open? Is that how that works?
yeah, they're going to be limited with the amount of people that are going to be there.
Well, limiting the number of people might be a good thing. That gives the people who are there more time to do fun stuff.
But I paid for my Ride Hopper pass. So.
Oh.
I get to go to the front of the line anyway. Yeah, I mean, it'll be, I typically, fortunately, the flexibility of my work schedule allows me to go not on weekends, which kind of sucks because sometimes some things are closed, but it's usually better because there's not a lot of people and you can kind of do what you want. So if you want to ride the American Eagle 6 times in a row, you can, though I don't recommend that. I'm going to say that my limit was 2, actually, because that thing, I guess I'm getting too old for things that jerk me around.
That one's kind of bumpy.
It is really bumpy. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Stacey's responding to Dawn's comment about butterfly hug and if that would work to do on others. So, and which is, I think, probably she's thinking about kids too. So what I actually did was I kind of showed my kiddo how to do it, and then he did it on himself, and it's pretty cool. So but I think that, Matt, that's a great comment. If you don't have to go away for a whole weekend, although you can. And I do think that maybe there are times when you need that longer time to reset. But you can take just some time. I think sometimes we know when we're done.
Yeah, a little walk in the woods
Mhm.
is really helpful for me. And if I have a little more time, a little more time in nature is always a good thing. So, yeah, everybody's different about that too. So, do what works for you. I really do believe that probably everyone has a natural rhythm where they're more creative at certain times, less creative at other times. For me, I'm definitely more creative in the morning than I am at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, me too.
I know that. And so I don't plan to do things at 10 o'clock at night. But beyond that, I think we do have days or parts of days where we're just, we're not functioning on all cylinders or something. And knowing that allows us to do like what you said, get that busy work out of the way, get the stuff that doesn't require super intelligence or concentration, stuff that has to get done anyway, but it's not taxing. So.
Yeah, so we'd love to know more of your thoughts on what you can do when you're in a low spot to get feeling better. And one of the cool things, and good morning, Chris, she's here as well. So one of the things I think too is realizing that sometimes some of these things can kind of snap you out of it right away. And that's cool. Like sometimes the funny thing, that'll snap me out of it right away. If it's just kind of like I'm focusing on something that isn't good to focus on. Or sometimes, like I mentioned, if I'm found a space to worry, just trying to specifically think about all the things that I have that are good, and especially on that particular area.
Being thankful?
Yeah. But then I think sometimes, especially if you're not feeling well physically, or when you've got a really difficult situation you're dealing with, some of this stuff isn't going to snap you out of it right away. And that's okay. And it's just kind of knowing that you're going to have to take your time with this. And
what about talking with somebody else who can realize that you're in a tough spot and may just talk you out of it?
Yeah. So Stacy, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. Since you're a therapist, you probably have a lot of people coming to you when they're in a tough spot. And I think that's a great option is having somebody that you can talk to. It can be a therapist. Sometimes it can just be a friend.
Or an attorney. Just call your attorney when you're feeling low. And
Matt, that is like oh my gosh, you're like that is the best promotion I've seen all morning. Like the Shameless Self-Promotion Award goes squarely to Matt here. Like I'm getting a trophy made up. Oh my goodness. But you know what, Matt, I do think that there's a point here actually, which is that if there is something that you have to deal with and you're putting it off, it's going to keep coming back.
Until you need the attorney.
Yeah. Or maybe the attorney is what you need to deal with the problem. But if there is a reason, that's why I'm really big on identifying the reason for feeling poorly. I know not everybody is about that. And sometimes you can't. I find that I'm sort of naturally good at finding out where the source of the problem is if I take some time to think about it. And that allows me to solve it. But I do think that can cause stress or low feelings or unhappiness is when you've got something that you need to take care of and you keep pushing it off and keep pushing it off. And it can be any manner of thing, but sometimes you just have to deal with things. And a lot of times they're not as hard as you think they're going to be. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not.
So procrastination isn't a virtue? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think so. Procrastination is actually almost never about being lazy. It's almost always about
a fear of something.
Fear, emotional or mental kind of thing. So I'll give you an example. When I first started trying to figure out my money stuff, I was like, I'm going to just avoid this like crazy. So I would avoid it, and it was still there, tapping me on the shoulder. When I actually, and then there was a lot of stuff that I had to go through. When I actually did it, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And it was really positive for me. And it got it off my shoulders, and that burden, was gone because I addressed it. And Mark helped me a lot with that, and Monique as well. So, working with a couple people that knew what they were doing there really helped. But if you just keep ignoring things like that, I think you're going to find yourself in a low place more frequently, whether it's a health thing, money thing, relationship thing, whatever it is. Your house is a mess. Your laundry room is a mess. My problem right now. my laundry room is very messy. But if you keep, just ignoring that thing that you find on your mind a lot, then it's not going to go away. And I think you find
Sure.
yourself low more often. So
Okay. Well,
Yvonne has a comment here.
Hi, Yvonne. She is focusing on staying balanced during her week between faith, family, volunteering, exercise, and nutrition, and self-improvement. So it's actually working for her. Mm-hmm. She loves that she's a work in progress.
Work in progress.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was having some trouble reading.
Well, the comments are like this big. But if we put them on the screen, we turn into puppeteers. So I think that may be a new angle for this show. It's the Muppets. Somebody make a Muppet.
Might have to have a different name. Right?
Well, you need a different name to be a Muppet?
Well, I think we have to find a different name for the show.
We could get a cow Muppet.
Okay, well.
All right. So, yeah, I think that, Yvonne, what you're doing right now is really awesome. I love that you're sharing all of your steps forward. Yeah. I think what you're doing with the nutrition stuff right now is a really good example of, addressing a challenge or maybe something that was making you feel not so great before, and you're really taking charge of it. So I think that that's awesome.
I can't see who this is.
Stacy. Yeah, this is Stacy.
Good comment. Procrastination is often linked to perfectionism. If I can't do it perfectly, I don't want to do it. The adrenaline of a time crunch is also a motivator, just a justification as to why it couldn't be perfect. But when it's still good, it reinforces the procrastination. My life. So yeah, perfectionism is also not a virtue. Don't try to achieve perfectionism. It's not a good thing. It slows everything down and causes you to do things like procrastinate. And it's much better to get a job done with excellence than it is to try to approach perfectionism. So just try to avoid that.
Yeah, I think, and too, one of the things is that we're talking about kind of a few different issues here. Like when you're feeling low, what are some quick things that you can do? And we got some great examples of that. And then also like when you identify kind of a long-term challenge that might be impacting your mental state and what you can do about that. One of the big things that I think is just like, we're always going to have things to improve. So, don't think that I'm never going to be happy because I have this problem or that problem. What I found is like when you start to solve problems, other ones pop up, but that's kind of a good thing because it's like you couldn't have handled it all at once anyway. So it's like when you go to the next level, like you guys remember that in math? I saw another meme the other day that said, name one book that made you cry, and somebody put algebra. I was like, agree. And for me, it was pre-calculus. But yeah, I mean, remember how we always had to go to the next level, in your math, like you wouldn't, if you didn't know how to do chapter 3, you wouldn't know how to do chapter 4. I think it's kind of the same thing as you're improving yourself. So,
so pay attention to chapter 3.
Stacy Stacy said my grad school motto is done is better than perfect. I tell my kids that all the time. I'm like, we are going for done here. Like 100% turned in. I have done all of my assignments. Like, I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for pass and done. If we can check those boxes.
Okay.
I think, and I'll say that's it during a pandemic. Okay, like before that, there was a little bit of a higher standard, but with the e-learning, I've had some kids that have just really not.
Okay, I don't have
e-learned.
experience with that, but I think it's true that if we try to do things with excellence, it's going to be passable for sure.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but I mean, that was I think it depends on the kid, but a lot of kids during the e-learning were putting a lot of pressure on themselves, and it was just getting confusing and frustrating. And, because a lot of them, especially my kids who had always gone to school that was like zero technology. I mean, not zero technology, but they weren't routinely signing into like online things. Now all of a sudden they're learning online submission systems as well as whatever they're supposed to be learning. So yeah, it was a little crazy. And so was I. So, Mark said, I had an issue with perfectionism until I realized what they call the person who graduates last in med school, doctor. Good enough is good enough. Yeah, I do think, are you being the best? Somebody has said that to me a couple times. Like, are you doing the best you can with what you have? Are you being the best? You don't have to be perfect, but are you doing the best you can? Are you giving it the effort that you want to give it?
And sometimes it just means completion. I think it was Earl Nightingale who had a definition of excellence that I could be misquoting, but I'm not sure about that. He called excellence a commitment to completion,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of makes sense. I mean, get the job done.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we were just talking about too is that I said when I was in school, I tended to get through all my stuff really fast and like just get the work done. When I was an undergrad, I was quadruple majored, and I still graduated in 4 years. And then in grad school it was the same way. I was always like doing a lot, and so I was really good at just sort of writing the paper and getting the good grade. And now I kind of regret that. Like, I wish that I'd taken more time with it, to get more of the knowledge. So I think, too, part of that is timing and, really choosing what it is that you want to do and when you want to do it.
Yeah. You can always gain the knowledge. You don't have to go back to undergrad.
If I had known what I know now, I think I would have done school a little differently.
Well, there's probably a few things in life that we would have done differently if we had the opportunity to go back. But that's okay. And I think regrets are mostly unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it's done and gone and time to move on.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say I necessarily regret it. I would just say that now, if I'm going to get some sort of a certification, or if I'm going to take some sort of a class, or if I want to gain some sort of knowledge, I'm a little bit more careful about planning, when I do that and how I'm doing that and how it fits into my life. Like, I really want to get a PhD, but there's no reason to do it right now. So even though I'd really like to, just because I want people to call me doctor, as like Mark said.
Change your name.
This only costs $132, so this is also cheaper. All right. Let's see. Mark Dooley says, another thought that drives me: a good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. So,
well, that came from George Patton, who was an Army guy. And I think, with the exception of the word violently, I'm with it. I think
maybe
vigorously.
He means that like vigorously. I'm just thinking of some plans that'd be really funny to violently execute.
Okay, well, I don't want to leave this on a.
I'm
on
gonna
the
do
word-
yoga.
Okay, people. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
I gotta go get my second coffee.
Yeah, great idea. It's a beautiful day here in Chicagoland. It's a little bit warmer and it's very sunny and pretty out. So
But it's gonna rain later this week, so go do your things today. Aggressively and passionately, yeah. I figured that's what it was, but I was just, I don't know. I try to find the funny in just about everything, so I'm gonna enjoy violent yoga now.
okay. So it's a beautiful day. Go make it a great day by doing something really nice for somebody else and a whole bunch of people if you can. We will be back here on Wednesday, and we have some other programs going on during the week that you may know about if you're a member. If you don't know about them, then you're probably not a member.
And Mark's throwing up some laughing reacts. So if you got a second here, give us a heart or a thumbs up or anything other than the angry, unless you really feel that way. Then be sure to submit your complaint on the back of a Starbucks card.
So all I have to do is push this
Don't
button?
stop it. Oh my gosh, you're not supposed to like your own things.
Oh. Why is that?
Because it looks weird. It's
Okay.
like, I like this a lot. I said it, and I also agree.
And that's bad?
It's weird. I mean, I guess
Okay.
it maybe would be weirder. Okay, you guys, please don't do this. Like, don't try this at home. But it would be really funny if you would post something and then do your own angry react to it every time for like a week. I really want to see what that does, both to you and to the algorithm. I'm gonna enjoy that one. So it's like, I say this, but I disagree with myself. It'd be really fun. We should do it.
Sounds fun. Okay, everybody, that's all for now.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, remember that you can send us a message if you want to talk more about this kind of stuff. If you've got questions about career or business, we put our link to our scheduler. If you want to schedule a time to talk, you can click that link, or you can also just send us a message. And then if you want
If you want to get on the background, you can let us know that
the
too.
screen, not the board. See, I'm slowly getting that teacher's isms right on out. That you can click that same link and book a call with us, and or just send us a message, and we'll be happy to connect with you. I think that's everything. Is that everything?
I think it's
If
everything.
we forgot something, message us. Let
Well,
us
if we
know what it
forgot
was.
something, let us know what it is that we forgot, and we'll do it next time.
Especially if it's your birthday, because we need to have.
Oh,
a
yeah.
party.
We don't do
We
birthdays.
should do birthdays.
Anybody having a birthday today?
If you're having a birthday, let us know.
Okay.
Next time, send us a message if it's your birthday first, and then we'll do a birthday song.
Great.
All right, I think we're done here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.